Hey guys, this is EYCTO and this is how to build a coil for your vape. Hey guys, so right here I have the brass Nemesis, and then right here on top I have the Vale RDA. So right here what I have is the vertical quad coil. Now, this is pretty difficult to make. This is a 4-post, so it's a little bit easier to make. If you have a 3-post, it will be pretty hard to make. Hopefully if you have the holes on your post, if they're big enough to put in 4 wires, you could try to do it, or you could try doing 2 solid wires that go all the way through and make both 2 coils. For this I just have them all separate. It hits really good. I also have the cotton looping up and over and into both coils and into the bottom. So this is going to show you how to. Alright guys, so I just gutted the whole thing, took out all the coils and cotton. So now all we have is just the 4-post, and if you can see, each one has each individual holes. So first what we're going to do is we're going to grab our wire, Kanthal wire. There's different gauges. This is right here is 28. It's pretty thin. I believe this is 28 also. And then right here I have 24, which is a lot thicker. I recommend the 24. It's a pretty good thickness. 28 is just too thin. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab some of this wire. Just pull out, a foot or so. Go ahead and clip that off. Ooh, that's not good. Okay. Alright, so we have our wire. Okay. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to grab. This is what I use for wrapping my coils. It's a drill bit. I mean, you can use anything you want. I just like the diameter. It's 9/64. So this is what I use. This is the nice size I prefer. So what I do is I grab my wire, go at the very end, and I just wrap as tight as I can around it. Try to keep the coils as close to each other. You're going to want to do 6 to 7. I recommend that. I wouldn't do anything any more than that. Then it just becomes too hard to heat. Alright, so you can see that. Not the best coil, but you can always fix that. So we pull this off. Okay, you grab it, pinch it together as best as you can. And then go ahead and clip your excess. Always have, an inch or so of excess, because you're going to want to be able to have some play. Alright, so there's your first coil. So with this, you're going to want to take your RDA. And if you're doing just 2 coils or 1 coil, you usually want to do opposite, so you would do this one right here, the outside to the opposite inside. So you got positive and negative. But since we're doing a quad coil, we're just going to do them right next to each other to make room for the other four. So what you want to do is you want to grab your coil, go ahead and stick it into these holes. Until it's nice and tight in there. Now you don't want the coil to be touching the post, otherwise it'll just burn and fry the wire. So we got that in there, as you can see. And then you're going to want to tighten down your screws. Now if you have a RDA that does not have holes in your post, it's a lot harder to work with. I can make a video about that, but right now we're going to do ones with holes. We got our coil still in here after we just screwed the screws in. So if you look, you see how open and gap and widey it is, you know. You want to be able to compress it and make it as tight as you can. So after you tighten your screws as tight as you can without ruining them, and you get a good connection, you want to go ahead and turn it on. It's going to heat and smoke. You're going to get red hot. You see how red hot that is? Heat that up. You want to stop while it's still hot. Compress it. Smash it down. Sometimes you want to use your guide. You kind of keep it together and not you know, fold over each other, and you want to be able to straighten out. So since we're going to do the vertical coils, I'm going to go ahead and stick it on through, and I'm going to kind of straighten it out so it's a lot more straight there. Go ahead and heat it up again. See, it kind of heats a little uneven. That's why you want to be able to smash it. Makes it a little bit more of even heat. So basically you just want to keep on kind of toying around with it, you know, straightening it out. Don't do that, because guess what? I just ruined it. So if you guys saw what happened, the connection was shorter than, it didn't go through all the wire because it went through the drill bit, and I accidentally turned it on and it shorted out and fried the wire. So now I'm gonna have to restart. Alright you guys, so I got a new coil on here. When you're heating up and shaping it, make sure that, so you don't do what I just did, make sure you know, turn the power on, heat it up, and then when it gets to the proper temperature you want it to, you know, you want to get it pretty red hot, make sure you let go of the power and then you start toying with it, because otherwise you're just gonna, you know, fry it again. But just so you guys can get a look, this is what your coil what you want your coil to look like. So this is what you're gonna do 4 times for the vertical coil. So you want to do it, you know, both sides, but when you see this excess right here, you want to be able to clip that off. So what you want to do is grab your you know, wire cutters and cut probably, you know, 3 millimeters to 2 millimeters away from your post, just so you have enough to be able to, you know, adjust it and bend it down. So we got, you know, two little nubs. So once you put your other side on, you want to bend those up or down to the side, whatever, so that it kind of locks in your coil. After this, go ahead and finish up, put your other 4 in, and I'll get back to you. So after you have this process done and it looks like this, you're going to get cotton balls, and we're going to add cotton to your coils. Alright, so go ahead and clear your space. All you're going to need is scissors, a cotton ball or 2. And then what I use is like a little carving tool. You can use any kind of like EYCTO knife, or really just a razor blade, or just anything pointy. But this really works for me. So to get started, go ahead and grab your cotton ball, and you'll see it kind of just looks like a wound up. So you're going to want to try to kind of start playing with it, start pulling at it, trying to find the end. And you eventually start opening it like this, and then just roll. So you want to keep it kind of in one piece, don't rip it or anything. So you got this long strand like this. Go ahead, grab this, and at one end, preferably the end you started with, just start twisting it. It's not going to stay together too well, but you want to get a little twist into it. So you have, it's a lot more condensed. With one end, you want it to be really narrow. You're going to go ahead and grab your RDA, and you're going to grab the end of your cotton, and you want to lace it through one of the coils. Now before I do this, if you want to do how I did it with the loop, you're just go ahead and follow the same step, but this is what you do usually for the vertical coils. But you can just leave the top, cut. I mean, you can, but I prefer this. It looks a lot better and it works a lot better. So go ahead, grab this, stick it through, grab your knife or whatever you have, and pull the bottom of it out. So you got it like that. It's laced through your coil, and then you can, if it's too small for you to grab, get some pliers, but grab it and continue on spinning it. And you want to spin it up on the top too, so it goes through the coil and doesn't get caught or bend your coil or anything like that. So just be kind of gentle with it, tug it. You want to pull out a good amount because you're going to want some to be at the bottom. So get it where it's pretty thick, and you want it to be really compressed and tight inside the coil. So just pull it out until it's really tight in there and you can't really move it much. So you got about this much hanging out, right? Go ahead and cut about 1/2 centimeter from the very edge of your RDA. These aren't very good scissors. Alright. So you got a little ball hanging out, right? You may need to cut more off if you need to, but for right now, just leave it like that. So you got this big strand hanging off, right? You really don't need this much. You probably need about that much. So go ahead and cut it right there. Okay. Alright. So you got this hanging off, right? Start twisting this until it's pretty tight. And you want to get kind of a pointed end just so it's easier to pull through the coil. repeat the process, stick it through, pull it through. Alright, so it's kind of hard to see, but you got kind of like a little arch or rainbow or loop that goes from one coil to the other. And then what you want to do with what the leftover is, you want to grab your knife or whatever and just kind of stuff it in under the coil. Now you don't want to like stuff a bunch in there, you may have too much, but you can put quite a bit under there, or you don't have to at all, you know. It just depends on how your preference. So I got that under there. I'm going to cut a little bit of this off just because it's a little too much. And then you're going to go ahead and repeat that process for the other side. Alright, now that you have your cotton installed and fluffed and stuffed and whatnot, you want to get your juice and juice your vape. Alright guys, thanks for watching my video. Go ahead and like and subscribe, and go check out any of our other videos. This has been EYCTO, and this is how to build a vape coil.